But we begin with the evacuation of eastern Aleppo. Several buses carrying around 200 wounded people are passing through regime-held Ramusa district of the city. They're heading to rebel-held areas in the western countryside of Aleppo. It comes after an attack on a convoy by pro-regime forces that killed one and injured several others. Rebels say Iranian militia are trying to sabotage the evacuation deal brokered by Russia and Turkey. Well, let's bring you up to speed then with the latest developments so far on Thursday. Earlier in the day, there was a convoy of more than 20 buses waiting to enter eastern Aleppo from the Al-Amaraya district to start evacuating rebels and civilians. While they were waiting, a separate ambulance convoy carrying wounded evacuees came under fire, reportedly from Iran-backed forces. The attack...
The ambulance headed towards the passage that was identified to evacuate the injured. Regime forces opened fire on us, and the driver of the ambulance was wounded inside his vehicle. Some civilians were wounded also, and they are now in a critical condition.
Well, the attack added more delays, but now the buses are making their way into eastern Aleppo. There are also quite a number of ambulances to transport what's believed to be 200 injured civilians to hospital. Well, Ediz Tiyansan joins us now live from Hatay on Turkey's border with Syria. Ediz, it seems the evacuations then have restarted. What can you tell us?
Indeed, Paul, and in fact we are hearing positive developments regarding that. A third attempt of evacuation seems to have been completed successfully. The activists on the ground are now saying that the first group of those wounded and those who accompany them are now believed to have already arrived in the rebel-held territories in western countryside of Aleppo. So this is definitely a story of success following two failed attempts, one on Tuesday night and one earlier today, which actually came under attack. Now, remember that the Turkish foreign minister has been in correspondence with his Iranian counterpart about 4 times today. We believe that those diplomatic contacts seem to have provided some positive developments to this evacuation. And now we believe that more civilians will continue to be evacuated, and where we are near Hatay at the Cilvegözü crossing right now, there are 33 trucks full of humanitarian aid, including food items, winter clothes. So these are aimed at some 50 to 60,000 civilians who are expected to arrive in Idlib in the upcoming days.
You said around 50 or 60,000 they're set to be evacuated. Have we got a time scale of how long this will take?
Well, obviously, this is still a huge number, given the fact that they are stuck in an area of 3 to 4 kilometers square in an area called Al-Sukari in eastern Aleppo. And given how tricky the current situation is on the ground, there is still a high tension, even though a ceasefire is reached. But given the previous failed attempts, there is a lot of risk that it could still go wrong if any one of the factions, for some reason, has a problem, or if there are any diplomatic disagreements. Suddenly this is still a race for time, I can tell you. The initial ceasefire that we've seen was about 24 hours. Now, we're not sure if this is going to be enough to get all of those people, as I've said, 50 to 60,000 to some estimates, but some are saying that it's closer to 100,000. And honestly, even the United Nations doesn't have an exact count of how many people are waiting for an evacuation. So the idea here is with every evacuation, they are trying to send as many ambulances and buses as possible, but at the same time to keep it tight so to decrease the security risks. So we understand that this is going to take place as many times as possible, as much as they can keep the security precautions in place on the ground, but we really have no idea how many hours or days this could take.
Okay, Ediz, thank you.